This still looks like a poop swirl.
Hello.
Hello there. So we have some stuff to talk about today. So yesterday, of course, was April Fool's, the best day ever. A great day full of pranks. Yes, we're over that already. It's gone. It's in the past. Technically, we didn't get any like update. I'm fine with that. I kind of had a feeling about it anyways. Yeah, yesterday I showed you guys the little prank that Froggy posted on Twitter about the color wheel and such, like the mystery color wheel and whatnot. And a lot of people fell for it. It was quite funny to see the reactions and stuff. Like people going along with it, falling for it. Also in that video, it was kind of just me speculating on why we didn't get the April Fool's update this year. And once again, I fully understood like there was a chance we didn't get one this year because of the new changes we've got. One of the new developers pretty much explained it perfectly, and we technically have like an official reason why we didn't get April Fool's update. So let's take a look at that. Once again, it's only on Twitter, so if you don't have a Twitter, you're not old enough, or you don't like Twitter, which I can I understand. I'll share it with you guys right now. So one of the new developers, Uteraflan. I'm just gonna say Uteraflan. They are one of the animators at Welcome to Bloxburg, and it's their only social media account. So if you have a Twitter, this is the correct one you should follow. They pretty much explained, I totally get why some people are sad about no update. It's fun with new stuff. However, the way game deving works is actually more frequent updates equals less new content. Why? More updates equals more time spent testing to make sure nothing breaks when we update. We have to test every update because we need to make sure we've not broken something else like everyone's plots. Instead, we've decided to focus as much of our efforts as possible on adding cool new things and improving old stuff, which is, yes, I'm really happy with that. Like, I understand completely, and I would rather have a nice update rather than something broken. Like, take all the time you need. And lastly, April 1st update would have been a ton of fun, but there happened to be some extra big risk with updating without properly testing this time. I think we made the right call, but it's fine if you disagree. Either way, either way, I think you'll love the update we spent this time working on. Once again, reassuring, like they are currently, obviously, they're working on the next update as we speak. Expect it somewhere, possibly this month, because based off pattern, like the updates right now are still like once a month. So expect something this month since it is a brand new one. Just, you know, they're working on something, and I'm super excited just from him saying that, like they're working on something super special. Stay tuned for it. Yeah, that pretty much sums up why we didn't get the April Fool's update. Once again, it's not just two people anymore. It's not just Coeptus and Froggy Hobbs. Froggy was the main object maker. He was the one that made most of the furniture items and such, like the models and whatnot. And Coeptus mainly like coding, animating, and I guess making some of the items himself. But it's no longer a two-person team. There's a lot more people now on board who are now working on different things. It's not just Froggy working on one object. There's a whole bunch of different developers working on the same thing. So that's why there's no credits when you see like in build mode. Like before we had credits with certain objects. Like if you notice, there's no more credits with these items because there's just so many people now working on possibly like one single object and whatnot. So there's no need for credits. When they go into the test server, all of them are there present to test everything out, make sure it works properly without breaking any other things in the game. Like there's so many things with developing a game where one thing could literally break a whole bunch of stuff. It's crazy. They have to go through testing. They have to test every single object. They have to test every single feature, animations as well. Like there's so many things to worry about when making things. It's also kind of silly too. Like something so little could do that much damage. It's kind of like a giant domino effect. I completely understand why we didn't get one this year. Once again, I had a hunch already. I was like, there's probably like a 10% or less chance we get that April Fool's update, because April Fool's, like, it is quite a day for most games and such, but not every single game has to update for it. It's like they could do the smallest things, like change their thumbnail or something. I feel like Bloxburg could have done that. They could have just like changed their thumbnail, but it's literally for one day, so it doesn't matter. Their priority is already on something better. So just take note of that, because I'd rather have a nicer, more solid, filled update rather than just a silly one with like very little stuff and we get bored of it already the next day, which I feel like some updates are already like that, but I can understand where some people can get upset where they like sit all day waiting for an update or something, which I think people were waiting that day. Like yesterday, they were waiting all day for them to like update anyways, something randomly, because you never know with these things. Unfortunate as it was with no updates, once again, you just have to understand that they're doing something better. They're working. It kind of confuses me where I feel like no matter what, people will complain, right? Like it doesn't matter which community it is or anything. There's always going to be those people that complain no matter what. Whether we get an update or not, people are still going to complain. No matter how big or small an update is, people will complain. It's kind of confusing because with our recent update with all of these items here, people are still complaining like, oh my gosh, it's overwhelming. There's too much stuff. It was like, what? We got so many things that you're still complaining? Which I understand. Like I was a bit, not gonna lie, I was a bit overwhelmed as well, but it wasn't a complaining type of overwhelming, but I was like, wow, there's so many items. Like taking a look at everything, you could just take a break. Like you could bring out half the items and look at them all and then take a break, look at the rest. Like I don't see, it is overwhelming, but at the same time you shouldn't complain about it. Like there's so much stuff. I don't know, that kind of confused me that some people were like, oh my god, there's so much stuff, I can't believe it, why did they do that? But then those are the same people who will be like, oh my gosh, we didn't get as much items, I can't believe they did that. So I feel like no matter what, people are going to complain, and I hope the developers don't take it to heart or anything. Like I hope the developers don't get like discouraged or anything by this, because it's going to happen no matter what. People are going to complain, people are going to make a big deal of something. Hope most of us can kind of understand more, be more empathetic, and realize that they are trying their best. They're trying to adapt to the new, studio development team. They're still getting used to Roblox and the platform, learning about the game. There's a lot of stuff, guys. There's a lot of stuff. Give them some time. I'm sure they're definitely going to wow us with the next update. And I'm super excited. I can't wait. And we just have to wait patiently, like to see progress. I know it's gonna take a while. Some of us are still waiting to see some crazy stuff happen. Things take time, and we just have to chill for a bit. Rome wasn't built within a day. I feel like we're gonna be spoiled quite a bit. So that's all I wanted to talk about today, and just kind of like clear, because once again, people don't have Twitter to see like this type of like message, and people are misunderstanding. There are a lot of people upset. So I just wanted to reassure you that this is what's happening. We just have to chill. Just be a bit more understanding. That's all. That's pretty much it. Like, yeah, you can complain, you can totally have your opinions and whatnot, but just realize they're trying their best. So yeah, because the last video was me speculating why we didn't get one, and this pretty much explained it perfectly. We got our answer there. We're not left in the dark. And I'm actually really glad like the new developers as well are like communicating with us. Hey, we didn't do this because blah blah blah. So if anything, that's a lot of respect. I'm super glad. I'm just really glad we're getting more communication with the developers themselves, because I feel like before we didn't have that much connection with the developers. I mean, with Froggy of course, but like not really much from Queptis. Good on you, Terraflan. Major respect, and I can't wait to see what Bloxburg team comes up with. Okay, that's all. That's all I want to talk about. Okay, I'm gonna sit in my fountain. But that wraps up today's Bloxburg episode. If you guys enjoyed it, you found it interesting, you found it helpful or like informational in some sort of way, if this brought you a bit of peace of mind now on why we didn't get any proposed update, make sure to give it a big old thumbs up, and make sure you hit the subscribe button too, because it is completely free. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye. I was a bit hesitant on making this because like I kind of already talked about it yesterday's video, but this pretty much like fully explains it. I hope this cleared your mind. I hope this cleared things.